Yes, it's another edition of Conversation on Oluyole FM 98.5 in Ibadan. Yes, the weekend edition, the 25th day of July 2026. Bimbo Akombi is my name, and of course, the program is a story where we hook up onto the newspapers, yes, and give you stories making the rounds across the country, beyond the shores of the country, and we making our own opinions and views known about these stories. Of course, not the corporate views of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State. And you also given the opportunity to give your own views and opinions known via the phone lines when the time comes. Yes, Conversation is the program. And of course, as usual, we are hooking up with Okeogun 96.3 FM and Agility 92.1 FM. Yes, no station beats the reach. You can also check us up on Facebook, bsws.tv. You'll meet us there. And also live streaming, Oluyole 98.5. Conversation is the program. And yes, all these stations on the stables of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State. And yes, we have 3 newspapers here this morning: The Nation, The Tribune, and The Punch. And let me quickly go through some headlines. Yes, some headlines before we go to the program, to the stories proper and the analysis and views. Atiku Obasanjo renew fight over bribery claim. Ex-Vice President says former president wants to give his kinsman advantage in 2027. Well, this fight has been on for a long time. It was it died down at some point. Now it is being renewed, and through various opinions and views and statements in newspapers and public letters or open letters, like they always say. U.S. expresses concern over continued Middle Belt killings, and ban on bus preaching. Hawking threatens constitutional rights, livelihoods. That is according to the Southwest Christian Association of Nigeria. And Ogun government, APC clash over NURTW leadership ahead of governorship poll. Yes, it is at this time that all these pickets of clashes will always come up. Because the Osun State elections is just around the corner, the governorship elections, and and I know the NRTW, they will want to be used by the politicians. Yes, that is what everybody knows. And Osun 2026, police declare Emir ex-convicts wanted over political violence. That's talking about the NRTW clashes, and the union had rejected Adeleke's suspension and inaugurated a caretaker committee that is of the union. Now, I'm clearing pensions mess you created. Tinubu slams article. That one of the statements, verbal disclosures being made between Obasanjo and Vice President Atiku. Quite interesting. And this rather sad one. I lost 4 brilliant kids to landslide in one night. A Cross Rivers State mother. We'll take this break before we come back.
Conversation.
Yes, the program is still Conversation on Oluyole FM 98.5 in Ibadan. And yes, stories making the rounds across the country. And yes, this fresh political confrontation, like I was saying earlier, yes, between former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and former Vice President Olusegun Obasanjo. Yes, and there are allegations, various allegations at this point. A fresh political confrontation has erupted between former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and former President Olusegun Obasanjo, with Atiku accusing his former boss of reviving decades-old allegations to damage his reputation and confer an advantage on his preferred candidate ahead of the 2027 presidential elections. The latest exchange followed Obasanjo's public response to former Ogun State Governor Chief Olusegun Shoba over events surrounding the 2003 political realignment and the relationship between the People's Democratic Party (PDP) and the Alliance for Democracy (AD). In a lengthy letter to Obasanjo to Oshoba dated July 23, 2026, Obasanjo defended his political conduct and in the process revived allegations that Atiku, while serving as vice president, encouraged moves to impeach him during his first term in office, and Obasanjo alleged that Atiku invited the late Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Gali Umar Naaba, to his office and gave him 5 million naira bribe to initiate impeachment proceedings against him. And according to the former president, intelligence reports available to him at the time indicated that Atiku had begun positioning himself for the presidency from the first day he assumed office as vice president. Well, that is what is on ground right now. Atiku and Obasanjo, the renewed fight, and well, Obasanjo, I think they have time for that now, writing open letters, and they're sending them to anybody they feel they want to write them to. But at the same time, I don't think this is called for at this time. At this time when things are supposed to be, being played well in the political level. Now a renewed fight. Yeah, they are. Tola, you remember that Atiku was former President Obasanjo's vice. Then he's saying that Obasanjo wrote him a letter and said he accused him of some things. And Atiku said he's trying to tarnish his image because he wants to destroy him for his own preferred candidate. Yes.
And who might that be? Who might be Baba's preferred candidate? As Baba come out to say he has a preferred candidate. I remember the last time, I think it was Peter Obi the last time, even against his own kinsman, the now incumbent president who is seeking re-election, President Bola Tinubu. But now I don't know if Baba has actually come out to say that he's supporting President Tinubu this time around. But one thing is clear, the politicians seem to think that Baba is a factor in any election in this country, especially for people who want to run for president. Hardly, most of them go to his hilltop mansion to either seek his blessings or to seek his support. So this is coming up again now, and maybe Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is worried that President Obasanjo, ex-President Obasanjo, might not be on his side. And well, for good reason too. I mean, as far as the former president is concerned, no love lost between them, and you know that they were not at the very best with themselves when they were in power.
And now he was talking about an impeachment. Yes, that Atiku wanted to impeach him then when they were in power, and now.
Is Baba saying that?
Yes. And Olusegun Shoba, former governor of Ogun State, is now saying, he's explaining how former President Obasanjo deceived AD leaders in 2003. And
that wasn't covert. See, it was very obvious. Even if Baba is trying to downplay this now, it was very even to the ordinary Nigerian that there was indeed an agreement that okay, you AD governor support me, I should become president. I remember Alhaji Lam Adesina, governor of Oyo State then, who also wanted to seek re-election for a second term, and it will say Alhaji Lam Adesina will say Aremu Saleh, Aremu Oke. The Aremu Oke is Baba, ex-president Olusegun Obasanjo, and the Aremu Saleh because Lam Adesina also bears Aremu. So it was the Aremu Saleh. So when they were embarking on their campaigns for second term, ditto for all the other Southwest governors too. Alhaji Lam Adesina, of course, I was on some of his campaign trips, and he would say that, okay, Edibo fun Ogawa Loki. He would always call Chief Olusegun Obasanjo Ogawa, despite the fact that they belong to different political parties.
Yes.
So he would say, vote for Mr. President at the top, then vote for your governor. When it comes to the governorship election, that was what they kept on emphasizing. And there was a point at some point he said, Alhaji Lam Adesina was so sure that this accord was going to work. And there was a particular campaign trip where he said, I think it was to Fiditi, where he now told the electorate there that we Kilomba Ogawa Leruno. So there was a particular proverb he used that I can't readily recall now. Say Kilomba Ogawa Leruno, that the votes are already is. So for you to know, and that was the spirit also in all the AD states at that time, only for ex-president Obasanjo to pull the shock from under the wheels of those governors. The only one that survived was the one who is now the president of the country, then governor of Lagos State, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He was the one that survived the tsunami. And like I said yesterday, there is a conspiracy theory that if Chief Bolage had been alive at that time, the run-up to the elections, that he would have seen through what Baba was trying to do, and he wouldn't have agreed. And some people said that was why he had to die. But like I said, all that is conspiracy theory. Nobody can prove anything. Nobody can establish anything regarding that. So, but what I do know is that agreement and the deception and the eventual betrayal, I think it's very, very real. Bimbo.
Yes.
No matter what Baba is saying to try to exonerate himself.
Yes. Now, in his book, former Governor Olusegun Ashoba, in his book, an excerpt from Battle Lines: Adventures in Journalism and Politics. Yes, let me just quote some of his some excerpts here. As it turned out, unwittingly, we had handed Obasanjo, that is Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, then President of Nigeria, a tool with which he later dealt with us too. After stooping to conquer the National Assembly and surviving the late impeachment plot, he later stooped to conquer the AD governors and Afenifere. After he survived the impeachment plot, he never showed any sense of remorse. We could not believe his new bellicose approach when in a national broadcast he described the impeachment plot as joke carried too far. And the attempt to impeach him eventually won him some sympathy in Yoruba land. It was after this experience that Obasanjo began a frontal attempt to woo the AD governors. He came to Lagos to attend the convocation of the University of Lagos and then invited all the AD governors to a meeting later in the night, same day. Governor Bola Ahmed Tinubu of Lagos was the contact between us and Obasanjo over the arrangement for the meeting. We met him in the old office of the head of state at Dodan Barracks. The only person who accompanied him to the meeting was the Director of State Security Services, Colonel Kayode Are. At the meeting, he directly requested support from all the 6 AD governors. He said he wanted an understanding between them and himself because he faced some serious challenges that were likely to create some upheaval in the political terrain and in the country at large. Therefore, he wanted an understanding and a working relationship with us, as I said. And the delegation goes on, that met with the governors and other stakeholders.
Well, the bribery claim they are talking about doesn't have to do with them when Mr. Ex-President, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, was trying to. They said he was trying to seek a third term, something like that, and money was brought for the National Assembly members. That also is a very huge controversy, and a taint on the government of Baba Olusegun Obasanjo. But then, give it to Baba. He has his ways. He has his ways, Mimbo, and that he was so able to single-handedly fool the AG governors. Well, give it to him. Baba, if Baba would want to admit that this actually happened, he might just explain it away that it's politics. And that in politics, anything goes. But, the Americans have they've been expressing concern over the continued killings in the Middle Belt.
Middle Belt.
That's talking about places like Benue, Plateau, Benue and Plateau states.
Yes, Plateau, yes, Plateau and Benue, yes, it is true.
Yes, and everyone should be worried because hardly a day would you open the newspapers now and you not see a story of gory killings in either Benue or Plateau, and you wonder, unfortunately, like it has become in the core north, it's almost becoming a way of life. In the Middle Belt region too, it's almost become, people are getting used to it, and it's no longer news that people are getting killed on a daily basis. The United States has expressed concern over the continued violence against Christian communities. Well, the headline doesn't say Christian, but in the body of the story, they are being specific about Christian communities now. And other vulnerable groups in Nigeria's Middle Belt, saying the recurring attacks are deeply alarming and require urgent action to protect lives and bring perpetrators to justice. The U.S. said this on Friday in a statement posted online by State Department. The concern for the killing of members of the family of Reverend Ezekiel Dachomo in Plateau State, who the U.S. condemned as a horrific attack. So, for you to read, they keep tabs on every single incident. They are that meticulous. Whereas our own government seems to see things as a new normal, as if this has been part of us and we have to live with it. That is the attitude, the body language of our own government. The United States strongly condemns the horrific killing of members of Reverend Ezekiel Dachomo's family in Plateau State, Nigeria, the statement said. It added that the recurring attacks in the Middle Belt remain deeply alarming and require stronger security measures and decisive action against those responsible. The U.S. extended its condolences to the families of the victims and others affected by the attack. And referring to recent discussions with Nigerian officials, the U.S. said more must be done to prevent further attacks and ensure that perpetrators are brought to justice. Well, like we always say, if killings are being perpetrated in the Middle Belt region, if people are being killed in Plateau and Benue, the people that will be killed there are more likely to be Christians because they have a higher Christian population. So in northern Nigeria, if killings, the core north, if killings are happening there as well, and it is happening, so the majority of people that will be fall victims are likely to be Muslims. So that is the situation. So that doesn't say that more Christians are being killed than Muslims. I think the figures are proportionate with each other, along with one another, if you ask me. So,
I always say that they should recoin that word. Christians, Nigerians are being killed. Yes, Nigerians, innocent Nigerians are being killed. Innocent,
vulnerable Nigerians. Okay, we also have this one. The ban on bus preaching, Bimbo. Ban on bus preaching, hawking, threatens constitutional rights, livelihoods, says Southwest CAN. Urges Tinubu to withhold assent to FRSC amendment bill. Well, from the Southwest CAN, Christian Association of Nigeria, saying it threatens constitutional rights and livelihoods. Well, in the first place, while I'm not against bus preaching, but ordinarily it's not supposed to be. Not everybody will become. I may be comfortable with it, but not everybody may be comfortable with it. And the reason why many Nigerians will not speak up when they are in transit on commercial buses is that they don't want to be shouted down that why is that? Why is he disturbing you? Is he using your mouth to talk or whatever? So when it comes to religion, it's sensitive in Nigeria. So most people wouldn't say anything, even though they feel disturbed by the preaching. Well, I personally, I don't get disturbed by it, but that doesn't mean that there are Nigerians that do not get disturbed. So I don't know what the Southwest Can means when they are saying it threatens them constitutional rights. Because if you are preaching and your preaching is disturbing another person, not just one who is not of your religion now, it could also disturb those that have the same religion as you. So if it's disturbing them, that means you are the one threatening their own rights. So
I want you to check up that story, talking about the livelihood.
They're talking about those that are hawking on buses. So that also, I don't think that also is proper. If you want to hawk, you could be on the streets, and even if you're on the streets, it has to be in a designated place. That in an ideal society, a designated place where that kind of hawking is permitted. Like they said, the FRS said, and rightly too, that hawking could distract the driver. But then it's something that we have gotten used to over time, over the years. So why is the National Assembly coming up with this now? It's something we've gotten used to. The drivers are used to it. No driver would get distracted. I'm very sure of that. No commercial driver will be distracted by someone who is walking on a bus or preaching on a bus.
Because I remember then, when we were a little bit young, we used to see them, especially those who hawk these rat poisons and drugs. We see them. It has been on for a long time. People have gotten used to it, like you said.
And the authorities too, before they take decisions, they should also look at what has led to people. For instance, the aspect of boarding a commercial bus for the purpose of hawking. What has led to this? Times are hard.
Yes.
Those who cannot afford the shop, and they know that when they board the commercial bus, they will have the attention of those on the bus,
and of course they do make their money. Sometimes.
Of course, the people buy, and some of these drugs are actually those medications. Talking about those that sell medications on buses, some of these medications are actually very original. I'm not saying all of them are legit or original or are not fake, but some of them are actually. But because the people selling them they don't have a shop where they can stay. They are not registered pharmacists. So all those factors, that is what comes into play. And I guess these are some of the reasons why the authorities are frowning at this now. The Southwest chapter of the Christian Association of Nigeria CAN has warned that the proposed ban on preaching and hawking in commercial vehicles threatens constitutional rights, religious freedom, and the livelihoods of many Nigerians, urging President Bola Tinubu to withhold assent to the Federal Road Safety Corps FRSA Act Amendment Bill 2026. The position was contained in a statement signed by the chairman of Southwest CAN, Bishop Dr. Barnabas Akisoya, who said the association would continue to support every genuine effort by the federal government to improve road safety and reduce avoidable crashes, but insisted that such measures must not come at the expense of citizens' fundamental rights and livelihoods. Expressing concern over provisions of the proposed amendment bill, particularly those seeking to sanction preaching and prohibit hawking in commercial buses, the association said government must strike a balance between ensuring public safety and protecting the fundamental rights guaranteed under the Constitution. One question I want to ask Bishop Akinso is that I'm sure he must be well traveled in different parts of the world. Now, would he, as a man of God, board a commercial vehicle, a bus in the UK, and then stand up and begin to preach? Of course, it would incur the wrath of the authorities.
Yes.
It will be reported straight away. So that's the question. So is it that the people there do not respect religious freedom, as he's trying to tell us here? So, well, and like I said, I am not against it. Anytime I have the opportunity, I like to listen to the word of God. By virtue of the job I do, I hardly have time to practice my religion the way I do, the way I should, and to practice my religion. So any opportunity I have to listen to the word of God, including when I'm on a commercial bus, my opinion here. But then that is not to say that it is not infringing on the rights of some people who may feel disturbed by that preaching.
But apart from those inside buses now, or commercial vehicles, there are some that go to some residential areas. They'll put their megaphones on,
especially at dawn.
Yes.
That is very annoying for
yes.
me. That's what for me is very annoying, and because there are times. Okay, for example,
even for Christians, it might be annoying. It will be annoying to some Christians. If they are Christians too, it will be annoying to them, and not to talk of those who are Muslims.
And we are arguing about this at a particular day with some of my colleagues, and one of them said, "Okay, we started with those people that do." The churches where they do night vigils, and then they bring out very powerful loudspeakers. Any day to do that night vigil, you can be sure there will be no sleep in that neighborhood. Nobody will sleep till dawn. Nobody will sleep. And I was trying to tell my colleagues that, okay, imagine a reverend gentleman, the pastor, the preacher, or the founder or the proprietor of the church, who has kept me awake all night. Now imagine in the morning I go visiting that particular pastor, and they tell me that daddy and so much a show rumoju, and I say also daddy lesu, and daddy kept me awake all night.
And I am here now to see him.
So someone now said, "Oh, what about the Muslims too? That in the mornings, that when they
5 o'clock on the dot,
5 o'clock on the dot, when they say the Asubah, the early morning call to prayer." And I was of the opinion. I guess he has a point, but my opinion was that over time we have all become used to that, and it's only for a short while, and we've gone so used to that such that when we have to leave home very early, we depend on the call by the imam, the call to prayer by the imam. Okay, I can go out now, I can proceed on my journey. That has become a part of us over time. But I guess the radicalization of religion is part of what has brought about these night vigils. I'm not against night vigils. So what I'm against is disturbing people with your noise and keeping people awake all night. Honestly. So like you said, Bimbo, there are times that, okay, I'm coming for this program now. Maybe I had a very turbulent night. I couldn't sleep very well. And okay, now the program ideally starts by 6:30, 6:35. And okay, it's 5 a.m. I didn't sleep well, and I said, okay, let me just grab a little sleep. Maybe let me wake up by 5:30. Just grab a little sleep, and then maybe even I tell my wife, wake me by 5:30. But the next thing, as I started drifting off to sleep, and I hear "Eyi pada" on a loudspeaker. Oh, Bimbo. But then, by and large, we are not condemning any religion here, and we acknowledge the right of everybody to practice their religion and the freedom of religion. What we are just saying is that moderation is key, and we must respect the peace and tranquility of other people.
What I know is that in some high class estates, you will not find such there.
What to be?
Now, the Nigerian Army said it has recovered a cache of arms and ammunition during a precision intelligence-led operation in Rivers State. And the Nigerian Army, in a statement posted on its X page, that is official, on Friday, said the recovery followed sustained offensive against criminal elements in the southeast with troops of Sector 4 Joint Task Force Southeast Operation Udoka The statement said the operation conducted in the early hours of 23 July 2026 targeted a suspected criminal hideout at Awara Community Waterside in Ohaji, Egbema local government area and along the Omoku, Ogbaku, Ndoni axis of Rivers State. And they acted on credible intelligence information. And the troops raided the forest enclave believed to have been used by criminal elements as a staging base for planning kidnappings and launching attacks against security personnel and innocent citizens.
Okay, update on the ghost agency scandal. The budget office says phantom agency entered budget through official instruments under Buhari. So gradually, I think the puzzle is being pieced together now.
Yes, and I think that means he has been on it for a long time.
So this one that they are saying that he was the only one that pulled off the stunts. Director General of the Budget Office of the Federation, Dr. Yakubu Tanimu, on Friday said the controversial Presidential Economic Advisory Council and Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council, PEAC-PFIPC, entered the federal government's budget through official instruments whose origins date back to the Presidential Economic Advisory Council inaugurated by former President Muhammadu Buhari on October 9, 2019. So many people might have questions to answer if they want to be thorough in this investigation. Is it that those that belong to that Presidential Advisory Council too must have some explaining to do? His disclosure came as officials of relevant standing committees of the Senate and House of Representatives were questioned by the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC) over their oversight roles in the budget process during the period under investigation. Tanimu made the disclosure while responding to questions at the resumed investigative hearing of the House of Reps ad hoc committee probing the inclusion of budgetary provisions for the phantom agency allegedly headed by self-styled Director General Prince Adeniyi Adeyemi. He also disclosed that the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation assigned the administrative budget code that gave the council this identity within the federal government's budget architecture. So more is being revealed now. Now continue also to.
Yes, now.
That's
of course they will, and according to the to that revelation here, and the revealant, without the code, that means a spending body cannot be recognized for budgeting, appropriated as a spending unit, or subsequently participate in the expenditure process. And that is the Director General Yakubu. It further disclosed that an authorized establishment and a recruitment waiver had already been issued by the Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, while the relevant public service salary structure was also in place before the council sought budgetary provision. If
so much is being reviewed now.
Yes, if thorough investigation are to be done, so many heads will roll. Many
people will go down, and many institutions would also have very serious and pertinent questions to answer. The budget office did say yesterday that no money, no appropriated fund for the agency was spent. So the question remains again: the money that the DG and the ghost agency was spending, where was the money coming from? Or is it a case of a ghost agency spending ghost funds? Okay, quickly, Osun government APC clash over NURTW leadership ahead of governorship poll. I think the situation in Osun, Bimbo, I will support full militarization for the sake of security during the Osun elections. If the people there have refused, especially the politicians, if they have refused to put themselves together and guarantee that peace will reign during the election, then they shouldn't blame the federal government when they spread a security, especially the military dragnets over that state. So anything to allow peace reign and to allow for peaceful and transparent, free and fair elections. So by the time they start seeing tanks being rolled on their streets, they shouldn't blame anyone. I mean, especially the political elite in that state. And okay, this one, we snatched and sold over 12 motorcycles in December 2025. That's coming from a suspect. And it says I learned to use pesto, Oluyole, as a weapon from my past experience only. And Kano government empowers 1,116 street hawkers with 58.8 billion naira. Each gets 50,000 naira grant. Well, it's something, Bimbo. It's something.
Something, yes. You haven't talked about any story in the book of matrimonial oddities.
Okay, I'm just trying to look for that now. Okay. We have this one quickly. My wife told our 15-year-old daughter she was ripe enough to sleep with men. Husband tells court. Oh. Well, I wouldn't know why a mother would do that and then to want to throw her daughter to the wolves. Well, it does happen, Bimbo, but there is always a purpose for it. Maybe the mother wants to make some quick cash of our own daughter's innocence.
So is that the reason that she must be driven to be a promiscuous person, pushing her out now, encouraging her that
to a wolf?
Yes. And there are so many wolves out there.
So many of them. But you are not a wolf, Bimbo, and I'm also not a wolf.
Definitely.
So my husband traveled, abandoned me for the past 1 year. I want divorce. Okay. And court dissolves 10-year-old marriage for lack of love. After 10 years, they just discovered that they are not in love. And I blocked my lover's number on WhatsApp after she sent me her nude photos, says man. And the woman says he promised me marriage. That happened in Zambia.
And now this one says, my husband still slept with side chicks after fidelity oath. That is according to a Canada-based woman.
And that means the oath was not legit. Maybe he only deceived her. And it was the one that actually thought she was making a oath. Fidelity oath.
Yes.
Oh, really?
070-5555-1985 or 080-5500-9850. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Ojo Michael calling from Monomi.
Good to have you, Mr. Ojo Michael.
I want to start in the country. And I want to say that the issue of Baba just ex-president, Baba is so controversial and it's not new. So when election approaches like this, Baba used to have his own and other candidate. What about the bribery allegation against ex-vice president that he gave 5 million naira to impeach him then? Baba will always find one thing or the other to rope or to castigate Alhaji Atiku, because even throughout their 8 years, I want to believe they are not a good time. And the issue of third time, I can say it this morning. It's only if Baba will not say the truth. Just to you that was Baba wants third time, but it's only that they frustrated him. God bless you. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I thought former President Atiku Abubakar, yes, and Chief Obasanjo, I thought they were in good terms then when the vice president was running in good terms.
No, they weren't.
Because that was when I heard that the vice president said, I want to run. Obasanjo said, where are you running to? Yes, rich countries harvest 20,000 naira Nigerian health workers.
20,000 Nigerian health
workers, yes.
Not naira. They harvested humans, not money.
Not money. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Bimbo, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to advise Governor Deleke as the Chief Security Officer of Osun Good morning.
You didn't tell us your he's gone. Right, 070 5555 that's the number to call. Well, the people of Osun State and the political elite must make sure, like our caller said, that they avoid everything that could spell unpleasant eventualities in the course of the polls. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Tola, Mr. Bimbo.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Mr. Fabun.
Good to have you, Mr.
Good to have you, Mr. Fabun.
This news of middle belt attacks, I feel very, very sad this morning. Do you know that it's even more than this so-called Christian killing? What is happening in the ISIS? What actually is happening in the ISIS is the territorial ambition of a particular ethnic group. Because we have been told not to profile any ethnic group. And because these people, resisted these jihad people at that time, and they are bound to take revenge. I mean, we have the government that is looking the other way around. It's very sad, my dear brother. And you will see the chief of defense staff coming out here, the security is improving, and the American president wrote letter. And the letter that Mr. Tola referred to yesterday has been discovered to be forged. What kind of government is this one? Because Canada here, forgery there, all these vices in this world. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you very much,
Mr. Fabumi. Well, there are also conspiracy theories that the sponsors of the killings in the Middle Belt are actually people who are illicitly after mineral resources in that place, and the entire communities have to give way. So they tell the ethnic militias to perpetrate these killings, and they make it look like we are setting upon ourselves in the name of religion.
Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am Ademola from Ibadan.
Sorry, Mr. Ademola.
This Obasanjo and Atiku at that time. This Atiku Obasanjo has served the country in capacity. Leadership, they are leaders, and they have their positions. So at that time, some people threatened to take bribe and everything. So, you cannot take power from the office holder. So, other people cannot remove people outside the constitution. So, some people cannot remove people outside the constitution. So, our president, if this leader want to change for better, they need to come together and change the lives of people for better. The lives of people, economy will change for better. And this is US. So the United States did well. They are concerned about security in other places and NATO pension. So all these people, they are violent. They are causing problems. Some people are violent. So they should face the consequences.
Yes, thank you very much.
And US should continue to work with Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ademola. Can still take one or two more calls. 070 5555 That's the number to call. And there is a column by the popular columnist this morning, Farouk Arugi, talking about Tinubu's government of ghost doubles and phantom agencies. A government of ghost and phantom agencies. Well, indeed. 070 5555 That is the number to call. And okay, we also have Oshoguba accord alleged sabotage of government projects, urging security agencies to investigate. That's as federal government says life sentence for already school abduction convicts inadequate. Calls for tougher anti-kidnapping laws. Okay, the other state government is saying the life sentence is inadequate. So the other sentence that could be more serious than life sentence, that would be the death sentence.
Death sentence. death by hanging.
ECOWAS intervention frees Nigerian onion trucks as ORO seeks permanent trade solution. Talk about the regional observatory of onion in West and Central Africa, applauding the Economic Community of West African States Commission for securing the release of Nigerian onion trucks detained in Ghana, but one that only a lasting regional trade framework can prevent a recurrence of the crisis. The association disclosed that the trucks, which had been stranded at Kotoku Market in Accra, have not been allowed to offload their consignments following ECOWAS intervention.
Well, this one says a rather sad one here. The grieving mother, Mrs. Mercy Edu. Yes, she's a mother of 7, and she's from Ikot and Watin community, Calabar